decided to make this a little bit more entertaining, so I picked the Jeopardy team for today. And so we're gonna have different categories. And the first topic we're gonna talk about today is category number one, is what you need to know before the products. So category number two, today we're gonna talk about finding the right suppliers. Then we're gonna do some market research, finding the right product. Then we're gonna talk about integrating your suppliers to your Etsy store. Then why having a Shopify store may benefit you. Now, I know it's not for everybody, but there are some benefits of having a Shopify store. And category number six, we're going to be creating a listing on Etsy, step by step, doing it by hand. That is what I plan to cover today. Don't worry, it's not going to be a contest. I just like that. I always wanted to use it, so I'm going to use it just to keep it a little fun. So we're going to go right now and what you need to know before adding your product. What you need to know first and understand is that not because it's available on the print-on-demand platforms, it means that it will be a good product for you. What do I mean? Etsy is known for having a lot of people that tend to work, with manual work. There's a lot of people that work, in the garage and they do things in there, and you have to understand that you won't be able to compete with them. You want to offer exactly the same they offer. Okay. Going with a shirt with a very basic font that it can be easily reproduced with serigraphy, is something that you will be able to sell in a competition with someone who has a serigraphy machine in the back of the, with serigraphy is the screen print, the one that you put the ink in a little screen and then you pass and then you heat it. Those things are super cheap to make. Honestly, you can have a screen print machine for a couple of $100, and then you can have a short production in the back. You can buy one of those irons that they sell for like $150, and you can be pumping shirts from your garage like 24/7 if you want to. It's a very cheap process, but usually the people only do one color. You can do like a 2 or 3 colors, but it gets more complicated. So people don't like to do that. So when you see all these shirts that are like all black and they're like $12, it's because somebody's doing it from the garage. They're not using a print-on-demand supplier. They're building them and they're making it themselves. They're buying all this bulk. Like you go right now and look for Gildan 5000. See, you can actually get Gildan 5000 for $1.58. Okay, that is how you can get a Gildan 5000. Honestly, you can get it cheaper for that than that, and they sell you like probably a minimum 100 or so, but that is about $1.58. And then you go and buy, like the ink is going to cost you like $2-3 to print. These guys are not paying more than $45 for a shirt. Of course, they can sell it for $12, even if they cheap it, because most likely they're going to cheap it without tracking. Which it's allowed because you can ship something without tracking for like $1.50. So because that's like four ounces. So you are literally out of competition with these guys. The cheapest you will find a Gildan will be about $5.50 or $6, depending on your supplier, and that is if you're in one of the VIP programs. Usually they're about $7 for you. So then you can see the margin that is going. Literally this shirt, you can probably get it for about $1.29 if you actually buy it in big bulks. Gildan is one of the cheapest ones there in the market. So when you're competing against that, you are not going to be. So before you start doing something in your niche and start doing something like you want to keep it like super simple, use black or use one basic primary color that it can be easily done by a screen print, go and check your competition. If you find it for the $12, and you're gonna see that they probably have sold hundreds, if not thousands of that shirt, you are not gonna be able to compete by paying $7 plus shipping with tracking, which is gonna cost you probably about $4 according to your supplier. So you are already at $11 cost. You are not gonna be able to compete at $12 shipped. Okay, so make sure that you are going for the same thing. Same thing happens with mugs. When we go into the mug market in Etsy, a lot of people has the heat press machines at home. How do I know? I used to own 20. They are $75. So you buy it in Alibaba. Literally $75. You get a printer for sublimation paper. That is like about $250, and the sublimation paper is not really is cheap as well. So pretty much what you do is you print on all your design sublimation paper, you do the mug, and honestly, a mug, if I was to buy boxes of about 100, it wouldn't cost me more than 65 cents plus shipping. It will cost me about 80 cents total. Okay, so I can get a mug printed in my garage for less than $2. That is why they can sell mugs for $9, $10 shipped. You know, when they are very basic, when it comes in colors and it comes in only one side and stuff like that. When you want to get into the mugs, is that you want to get into the mugs that are more difficult to access, mugs that are more unique. Now, I'm not saying that white mugs are not going to sell. There are some niches that are untouched. There are some niches that actually has a very good chance that you can make some money, you know, on those. So always think about, is this easy to print from home? And then go and search on Etsy to see other people is doing it. Chances are most likely they are. So if you're gonna do white mugs only, you need to really go and if you go on Etsy, make sure that it's not something that is like basic colors. If you're gonna do something in mugs, for example, it has to be something that needs to jump the eye. It needs to be something that is attractive. That is why I don't sell white mugs in Etsy. Now, there's a lot of people selling at $14.99 anytime, because they have a unique design that is resonating with your customer, and you can have a bunch of those, right? But you want to have something that nobody else is selling. For example, black mugs are super difficult to do a screen print. That is why most stick to white mugs. But what I sell in white mugs is the accent mugs, the ones that have the coloration on the top and the coloration inside, and makes it for a better looking product. And I'm gonna show you that product as soon as we get into the integrations, because I realized that most people don't have them. And I can sell those any day for anywhere from $14.99 to $20, and people pay them because of competition. And when you're in season, when they're in season, they actually make a huge difference, because it can actually make, for example, you got a white mug with the sublimation. Actually, now this mock-up, this image doesn't do a lot of justice to this, but you see this one is red, and this one actually do the Christmas logo here, whatever design I have. The inside of that mug is also red. Everything is red inside. So the mock-ups I use are, they show the mug angle so that you can see the inside as well. So it shows that this thing is more professional. This thing is $4.50. You can sell this for $14.99 and $29 to $20, depending on the design, depending on your niche. That allows for a better market. That allows for less competition, and that allows you to make more money, in a less saturated deal. If you have the right keywords, you can actually make more money. So always go into Etsy with the idea that not because it's being offered on a print-on-demand company, it's a good product for Etsy. A lot of Etsy products are done manual. So always think that print-on-demand companies have the integrations for Shopify first, where literally you have no competition. So in the Shopify store, you can have all your white mugs, and literally there is no price comparison. People go there, people like it, people buy it. People go to Etsy and they go shopping around, and they will find most likely something very similar to you at a way lower cost if you use, a print-on-demand facility for use white mugs, but you can sell them. Another thing, for example, is that the coasters and things like that are like all those things that are engraved, etched. A lot of people do those from home as well, and they tend to sell them very cheap. So always come with the assumption that you're gonna have competition. One thing, keep selling something that is basic, that is gonna, that is not easy to break, and that it's easy to, to scale. Something that something that is not heavy. The heavier it is, the more you can lose money when returns happen, because you want to try to keep anything that you ship has to be under 1 pound. Why? Because as soon as you reach the 1 pound shipping weight, the shipping cost grows exponentially, and then you have to start using other systems of shipping other than the United States Postal Service. You have to go to DHL, FedEx, and UPS. So you start getting people to want to return it, or people that want to exchange it and stuff like that. For example, a tumbler is about 1.5 pounds. With the box and everything. Not with the box, it's about 1.8 pounds, give or take. That is going to cost you about $8 to ship. Okay. Once you ship those things and people want to return them because they were damaged or there were something, you got to pay for the shipping back if it got damaged. And then you lose the $8 there and the $8 back. So always keep in mind, when the shipping goes. It's one of the reasons why some people don't like offering oversized hoodies, for example. With the oversized hoodies, you go into the 4X, they are extremely heavy and bulky. They don't fit on one of those bags. You have to actually use a box. And that is why print-on-demand suppliers keep the shipping rate at the same rate of whatever hoodie you buy. But you notice once it goes past the 2X, the prices are going to start increasing by $2 each. So if let's say that your hoodie is $10 for the regular hoodie, you go to 2X, it's going to be $12. You go to the 3X, it's going to be $14. 4X is going to be 16, and then 5X is going to be 18, something like that. That is because, first of all, the printing area is bigger, but also because shipping gets more expensive. It gets heavier. It is like literally like when you go from 3X to 4X, is way more material than when you go from M to large in X. So it gets heavier and heavier and heavier. So if you want to go for some of those, make sure that you have very clear instructions that for customization and stuff like that, you have 0 refunds, because you can get into some problems when people send them back to you. Always, always, always look for the cheapest shipping available in a product. The best is going to be for you. It's going to make it a lot more easy to deal with the cost of returns and anything like that, if they happen, which they don't happen really a lot. So